This week on Cartoon Dumpster Dive, we cover the cartoon Mucha Lucha. Don't say that. We can't do that. We'll get sued. You don't know about that guy who, like, all his like passive income is just suing people for using that? I'm not kidding.
Like, how dare you?
No, I'm 100% serious. You have to cut that out. Literally, he has people on payroll who look for that and sue people for it.
Okay, I'll cut that part out. Okay.
I know it sounds like I know that sounds like I'm joking and I'm fucking with you, but I promise you I'm not.
Dude, it would not surprise me when I read that LeBron James was trying to trademark Taco Tuesday and he was making a big deal at it not going through.
Yeah.
It would not surprise me if that guy is just, looking for that easy payout.
Other than like, I mean, he still does like MMA fights and stuff, but he was like on some podcast. He goes, yeah, I got like a team of like 5 people who just scour the internet looking for people to say my catchphrase without my permission. I'm like, what a fucking asshole. But I get it at the same time.
Dude, what if, okay, is it the way he says it? Or could I just be like,
you could go, I think you could go,
so I could do
I think it's the whole like, well, I'm not going to say it.
Ready. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, don't say the rest.
The drawn out.
Yeah. But anyway, let's keep all that in. Just bleep out those parts and we'll let people fill in the blanks.
It's going to be just coming into don't say that. And then they're going to be so confused.
Okay. But Joel, we're covering Mucha
Andrew.
Lucha. This was
Mucha
a request
Lucha.
from patron John.
All right. Hey, John.
And I don't say people's last names on here, but he has a shout out for his dog Freya. So, John, if you would hold your phone up to your dog for like a good second. All right, I'll give you a minute. Who's a good girl? Oh, bougie. Oh, okay. And to his dad, Travis. And you can, what up, Travis? What up, T-Dog? You raised a good son who supports
who likes our
patron,
podcast.
who likes our podcast enough to give us $5 a month. So you know what? You raised him right. That's what I say.
He's good in my book.
He's good
Good job, T-Bone. Yeah. I really hope they call his dad T-Bone.
They should. I call my dad T-Bone. Not to his face.
I love it.
Although I should try. I don't know. It's weird to call your dad something other than dad.
It's so weird. What was it? My niece the other week was asking me like what my parent, like my niece on my other side of the family was asking like if I knew my parents' names. And I was just like, nope.
Yeah.
Just always call them mom and dad.
My niece called my brother by his first name once, and I was like, ugh, I didn't like that, and it wasn't even my kid.
I know.
Like, I also did, like, this is the same child who just calls me Andrew. I'm like, hey, call me Uncle Andrew, all right? I outrank you, okay? You don't get to just call me whatever you want.
Look, I'm not saying you can't say Andrew. Just add
you
Uncle.
Gotta add I earned that title by your parents fucking, so give me my goddamn title.
Give me my dues, please.
Give me my dues. Come on. I bought you ice cream. Okay. I do all the uncle shit. Give me the uncle. I mean, good Lord. But yes, so, little bit of a historic show, old Mucha Lucha. Only for one reason. But good reason nonetheless. But before we get into all that, as always, let's review that theme song.
Let's hit it.
Mucha lucha, mucha lucha. It's the way of life. Mucha lucha, mucha lucha. we go. Mucha lucha, mucha lucha. It's a way of life. Mucha lucha, mucha lucha.
It does go on for a little long, but it's good.
No, it does go on a little too long,
Yeah.
but it's a fun theme song to the point where you don't mind the fact that it's going
Yeah.
on a little too long. It's solid.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'd give it about a 7.
I was gonna give it an 8.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then they always end. They always start the episode with a saying that a true luchador would do.
Yep. It's all about the luchador, man.
It's all about
about
3 things, Joel: honor, tradition, and donuts. Which almost made me
Donuts.
want to be a luchador as a kid, because I'm like, those other 2, I'll figure out a way. But donuts and fighting, sign my ass up.
I mean, I feel like you
And
were
a cool
already doing
mask.
that.
Not anymore. I mean, I used to. I used to eat donuts and fight. I guess back in the day it was fighting beer and donuts.
I could see a young Andrew just being like, you know what, I'm gonna fight people and go get me a box of Krispy Kreme afterwards.
Yeah, man. Afterwards, just yeah. That, I mean, I don't think it's happened like that. But
No?
no, I don't think so. I don't think I've ever gotten to a fight and gotten donuts afterwards. Kind of a missed
No.
opportunity. Maybe I'll get
I know,
into a
you
fight
should've.
with another dad later down the line and remember this and then go get donuts.
I honestly, I think the next time you take your son out to the park,
Start something.
just walk up to a fellow dad and be like, "Hey, man, you want to wrestle?" And then just wrestle,
Hey, you want wrestle?
and then just pull out a box of Krispy Kreme afterwards and be like, "Here you go, man.
Hey, good bout,
Good
man.
game.
Good bout.
Good match."
I'm like, why did you do this to me?
Be like, "What the fuck just happened? I'm
I
out
put
here
on
watching
a
my kid."
luchador mask, and they're like, "Oh fuck."
Oh, he's serious.
But yeah, so 7 and 8. How did this get made, Joel? Also,
and
first of all, I know you're going to point out the creators. These 2 people are not the people I thought made Mucha Lucha.
oh no, yeah, like okay. Let me let the listeners in on why this is so funny. So this was created by a guy named Eddie
No,
Mort.
it's a lady.
Well, it's 2 people.
No, Eddie is a lady. I looked her up.
Eddie's the lady?
Both of them
That
are
don't
ladies.
make sense.
You
No,
can-
no, it's a guy and a lady.
No, it's a lady named. Look her up.
You've looked up Eddie Mort.
Yes.
Eddie Mort is a dude. It's
They-
gotta be. I saw a picture of them. Eddie
on.
Mort is a man.
Maybe it's just a woman. Oh, never mind. Yeah, that's a
Okay.
man.
Eddie Mort. Okay,
How the hell did I pull up?
The series was created by Eddie Mort
My bad,
and
everyone.
Lily Shin. Lily Shin is a Asian woman, and Eddie Mort is some dude from Australia.
Yeah. No cultural passion behind any of like any lucha libre at all.
I don't know. I think they do have a passion for old lucha libre.
I feel like they're fans, but like I was halfway. So you know how the guy who made El Tigre, like it
Yep.
was, it was deep seated into his culture of being, you know, a Mexican American man and whatever. And these 2 people do not have that when it comes to Mucha Lucha.
It is a shock to see
It kind of makes
but-
sense once you start watching the show.
In what way?
Um,
Because I honestly, I see this as a very deep appreciation.
no, it's not
Lucha Libre.
disrespectful in any way, but it's very much like a surface level understanding of what being a luchador is, I guess. It's like this. I mean, they did a good job. They made a good show. You know, more or less.
I mean, I guess I don't get it because I don't know what it means to be a lucha libre.
Yeah, but it's
I
still a
guess
good
maybe
show.
that's
But
what
I mean, like, if you go to Mexico and you like, you know, they got like documentaries and stuff about it. It's like the same way. It's the same way when they made Nacho Libre. Like, that guy was not like, he didn't grow up in the culture of Mexican wrestling, and he was not a Hispanic man, and it kind of showed when, especially because they catch Jack Black. But that's what I'm saying. And I'm saying, like, if this was made by somebody who was like, you know, of like Mexican heritage, like, it would probably hit harder, I guess. I don't know. Like, you know, but they don't do it like, it's not offensive. Like, it's not one of those cartoons where you're like, oh, this is just racist. It's just like, it's just very surface level. That's all I can say about it, really.
Gotcha.
Other than that, it's a great show.
I always took it as, you know, even though you might not be from that culture,
Right.
If you can understand and respect something from that culture.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not claiming cultural appropriation or anything. I'm just saying, like, it's very like scratching the surface. It's like it's like
it's
like a Yankee making barbecue. Like, okay, they got it, but
yeah,
they
like,
don't get it.
Of course, you're never going to be able to have that experience of, hey, this is a part of my culture.
Right.
But I felt like they did a very good job of, I don't know, understanding what it was about, like the family and honor aspects of it. Because if it wasn't for researching this podcast, I would never have learned that in Lucha Libre, it's like a family thing where if your father's a wrestler, you will, like, okay, Rey Mysterio Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I use him as an example.
Right.
How his son, even though his son hates him, is still wrestling with his name and his mask in a sense.
Which, like, I think Rey Mysterio Sr. passed away here recently.
I think so too, but I've heard stories of how, like, his son apparently walked out of his not acceptance, but like being accepted into the Wrestling Hall of Fame. Apparently, his son like up and left because they had a very bad relationship.
Oh damn!
But it doesn't keep him from wrestling under that name. So
yeah,
I don't know.
That's true.
Is it honor that does that? Is it money? We'll never know.
We'll never truly know.
But anyways, let's get back on to what makes this.
So Joel, this is a monumental first show.
This is a huge show.
Some in the animation industry would say that this show is the beginning of the end of the animation department, and some would say it is the start of a
new revolution,
flourishing revolution, depending on who you talk to. But hit us with it. I want you to.
So what Andrew is talking about is this was really the first show that. Now, when I say a first show, there might have been other shows, but this was a big primetime show that was using the first edition of Adobe Flash.
Yes. It was the first animated television series intended for children, which I feel like is an important part, but it was created with Macromedia Flash version 1.
and boy, does it show.
Oh yeah, this show, I don't want to say it aged terribly. It looks like a webtoon. That's really it. Like, it's not like you can just, it's mainly when the characters walk when they're walking horizontally, like normal cartoons. It's only when they're walking, like, I guess, in a 3D space, which is one thing that they used a lot, is like you can kind of tell that they just kind of animated them on a walk cycle and then dragged them to wherever they were going.
It's the animation. It's rough. I mean, honestly, that early Adobe Flash, like, hey, you did what you was meant to do, but it's never been good.
It's the same case that I made for Reboot, which Joel ignores. But
and hey,
it was
if
first.
You make that,
first
if you make
is
that
always
case,
worst.
If you make that case for this, I'm gonna same thing with Reboot. This show, to me, it's a affront to my eyes. It pains me.
How did you feel about the action sequences in it?
I mean, look, though good, you know, I've watched a lot of Flash animation in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, we are like early, you know what?
We're the early Newgrounds, albino black sheep.
They're exactly
whatever generation. Yep. Like, we didn't get YouTube till way later.
Exactly. But my thing is, I don't want to watch something on TV.
Right.
Like what I can just go watch on my computer. Yeah. But anyway.
And also, even on a standard definition television, like, you know, you could tell it's rough. It's rough, but it's one of those things where it's like, it's not the show's fault. It's just the time that it's in. And you know what? It's legitimately funny. So
it is. They do a good job. I mean,
the parts that I didn't like about Reboot, not if we're going to be comparing these two first, so to speak, I didn't like Reboot's writing. I thought it was dumb. It's like, I just didn't care for it. But like, you know, this show is like, it's funny. And there are like visual jokes that are also funny. We can get into that after we talk about the cast.
Yeah, but really quick, I just want to mention that it started out as a 3-minute pilot called Lucha School. That this pilot never aired. It was just shown to WB. WB, after some pushback, after some, we don't know about this, they approved it, made 3 seasons, 52 episodes, ran for about 3 years from 2002 to 2005. I remember this show coming on TV. This was pretty popular. I remember a lot of people.
I was one of
liking
them.
This.
I loved Mucha Lucha growing up.
I hated it. I could not watch it. Could not stand it. It's all because of the animation. I'm a snob, I guess, when it comes to my animation.
That's fine.
I just want it to. I want to feel good when I look at the animation, not like pain.
I got you.
And this was one of them.
Yeah.
But so I did find this funny. Apparently, when they first pitched this to the execs over there at WB, they really had to stress to them what wrestling was, because the execs were afraid that actual wrestling would be shown on TV to kids, and then kids would go imitate or, mimic it.
Okay.
So they basically had to explain to them that, hey, wrestling is more like choreograph dance than just harmful acts of violence. And I guess when they explained what wrestling was, the exec said, all right, sounds good. Let's shoot it on up.
That is weird, especially with like how cartoonish this wrestling is.
Oh,
'Cause
it's
like they were worried that a kid was going to crush himself into a pinball, and
we're gonna have kids over here trying to eat their own ass, trying to make a ball out of
or
themselves.
turn into a bulldozer or a potato for one of them.
It's so dumb, but that's really it. Not too
But that
much
just
to
proves
talk
executives are always stupid.
about. Yeah, they just care about money, man.
Yeah. Will this make us money?
Well, how much money can we make? And I'm sure them saying,
Oh,
"Hey,
between
we've got this."
merchandising, action figures, video games. And it had 3 separate comics. This thing made its
Did you
this thing
did
made
you
its
mention
money.
the film it got to?
Yes, starring the return of El Malefico, voiced by Tim Curry himself, and oddly, showing Penn and Teller in various. I watched this movie, but Penn and Teller are like a integral part of the movie.
What
They show up in every
the comedy magic duo guys.
The comedy magic duo of Penn and Teller. They show up at least 6 times in this movie.
What?
I don't know why.
Not the cameo I was expecting, but all right.
No, yeah, Penn and Teller are just all over this movie. It's very weird. But also,
Dude.
Lily Chin in 2020, she wrote her first book, Doggy Language, A Dog Lover's Guide to Understanding Your Best Friend. So go check out her book if you like Mucha Lucha.
That has nothing to do with Mucha Lucha.
No, but she was a character designer, so on Mucha Lucha. So, but
And
that was part of her job.
Co-creator
But she loves
of this.
Yeah, she loves drawing dogs. I assume that Masked Dog was her brainchild.
Hey, good for you, Lily Chin.
So go buy that book. It's only 4 years old. I'm sure it's in your Barnes and Noble.
You could probably pirate it.
Don't pirate the book. Go buy the book. It's
about
probably
dogs,
like
Andrew.
It's
about dogs.
It's probably less than $10. Throw her a bone for crying out loud.
Hey,
Okay. Hey, I didn't even mean to do that. That's how good of a comedy expert I am at this fucking podcast.
So Andrew, hit me with the voice actors in this show, man.
Okay, so the voice cast for Mucha Lucha, or in its final season, Mucha Lucha Gigante, is...
Ooh.
Yeah, man. I know Spanish. Not really. I am going to have tacos after this. It's unrelated.
Hey, white people taco night.
Oh, yeah, it is definitely white people taco night, for
I
sure.
love white people tacos.
It's an acquired taste. I know that that you will upset a lot of abuelas if you talk about them, but I don't have an abuela. I have an aunt.
Be a taco connoisseur. Accept any form of taco.
I love any form of taco. You can take that how you wish. Okay, so Kimberly Brooks is Buena Girl, Snow Pea, Cindy Slam, Crying Woman's Ghost, Igloka Los Luchador, Carlos Alazeque is Ricochet, El Abarito, Mr. Micardia, and Tio Rosito. Candy Milo is the Flea, the head mistress. Cheetah Bonita. Sorry, I almost made it all the way through that. Jason Marsend is a Ricochet in 9 episodes from 2003 to 2005. Lee Talker is Carlton Colt Jones, El Loco Mosquito, Chu Pai, Double Ninja. Terry Klassen is Ricochet's Abuelito, and
About it.
Pinky the Pink-Eyed Reindeer and ring announcer. Their other works are Kimberly Brooks is Allura from the 2016 Voltron Legendary Defender series.
Good series.
Carlos Alazreque. I know I'm fucking his last name up. I'm sorry. He's Mr. Crocker in The Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh.
He's also Deputy James Garcia in Reno 911 and the Taco Bell
nice.
dog.
Taco Bell dog.
Yeah.
Really?
The Taco Bell Chihuahua from back in the day. And I think he's also Rocco. He's been around forever. Candy
Taco Bell.
Candy Milo is Mrs. Wakeman in My Life as a Teenage Robot. Jason Marsden is Max Goof in a Goofy movie.
Nice.
Lee Tucker is Zabaria in Infinity / Dragon Quest: The Adventures of Dai. It's a video game.
All right. All
Looks
right.
like a bad video game. And finally, Terry Klassen is Mole Man in The Vision of Escaflowne, a series we've covered before.
Escaflowne.
Very good.
Love that anime.
Now, I have a few things that I love about this show.
Hit me with them.
The bullies are from a rival school, and they are the WWE / WWF wrestlers.
Yes.
They're all about like, and it's just, I think it's really funny that it's like, those are the bullies. There is a not a Rey Mysterio parody. What is the, Santo, the legendary mass wrestler Santo, their El Rey is the action figure that kind of goes as, Ricochet's conscious.
Yeah.
And he's just an action figure who he's like his Jiminy Cricket, but I just like that a lot. He always calls him a disgrace.
Yep.
I love that everybody's cool with Masked Dog no matter what. In fact, they get themselves in several jams where Masked Dog just shows them. They're like, "Oh, you know Masked Dog? Okay, it's cool." And then that's it. The problem is de-escalated immediately.
Masked Dog.
I like the Flea. The Flea is my favorite of the three. We follow Ricochet,
Agreed.
Buena Girl, and the Flea. I like that the Flea talks in third person, and I like the fact that his signature move is so disgusting it can't be showed on screen.
Yeah.
And his parents do the same thing. Because as you were saying, they are the children of these other wrestlers, and all of them are like, they're all themed the same.
Yeah. It's really kind of like, it's a big tradition apparently in Lucha Libre.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. I kind of didn't know that at the start. Really my knowledge of Lucha Libre is 0%. I used to watch some clips on YouTube where I'm like, man, they flip so much. My knowledge about Lucha Libre is just as much as it is about like owl wrestling. Oh, none.
Which is it's wrestling.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, I really wasn't into the WWE when I was a kid.
WCW all the way, man.
Or yeah,
That's
NWO,
me.
all that. I didn't get
NWO,
it. Which is
man,
weird
the Four
because
Horsemen. Let's go.
I loved Ultimate Muscle, Kinku Man. This show, there's a show out right now that has, which if you're into Mucha Lucha and you're like, I need another wrestling show in my life for whatever reason, Invincible Fight Girl would be up your alley. It's surprisingly good. I just gave it a chance because it was on Max. They're like, you might like this shit. And I was like, okay, I got nothing better to do. And turns out I did.
Everything about you should say you should be
I should love wrestling, but for some reason I'm like, I don't care when it's people. It's because their moves aren't as like extravagant. If Stone Cold Steve Austin turned into a fucking Iceman or something like that, I'd be like, that shit. If he turned into a cold, frosty beer icicle man and he wrestled like that, I'd be like, that's fucking cool as shit. But he didn't. He just kind of hit people over the head with beer cans and said, hell yeah. And I was like, I could get this from an uncle.
Hell yeah.
if I truly, truly wanted. So I think that's all I'm saying is like, when it's people, I don't really care because you can't turn into a bulldozer or shit on people or whatever the flea does. Yeah, you don't have magical abilities.
How dare you pretend?
So I already said my favorite out of the three. I know you didn't watch the show, but do you have a favorite?
So my favorite was always The Flea, and this was one of those shows where even going back now and watching it, I think it's a funny show.
Yeah,
I like the characters. I like the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I cannot get past this animation.
Yeah.
For this show, I've never been able to.
I always liked the concept of all the wrestlers. I always thought, I don't remember his name, but the one that's the mime. I thought there's an episode where they try to get him to talk and he starts talking and he can't shut up basically. And then like he gets in the ring and he can't do any of his mime moves because he's just in the ring describing what he's doing.
Yeah.
And so like they're just able to be, and like they're like, you have to be a mime again. You can't talk anymore. And that episode always stuck with me. I like Potato Jr.
Okay.
And I love his dad, Potato Sr., because they're just two big fat Mexican wrestlers. But Potato Sr., his move is just called Super Senior Spud, and he turns into a photorealistic potato. just goes all over the mat. And like that was one of the things you could do really well with Flash animation is if you wanted to, you could just put a photorealistic thing in there rather than doing like the Ren and Stimpy like close up gross up shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was let's see. There was a guy made out of hay. He was a scarecrow theme. Like everybody had a theme, and I really liked that aspect of the show because they would always get into the match and like, ooh, what's their signature move going to be? Maybe I can guess.
I remember when I was a kid and this show was coming on the air, I would watch enough of it to look at the character designs because I thought the show did a fantastic job with the character designs, but I just could not stomach to watch a full episode.
I feel you.
Yeah, but I've always enjoyed the characters they made in this show. They are fantastic.
There was a toy line. It was
I'm sure.
Released by Jakks Pacific in 2004. It was a mix-a-lot action figures. You could remove the parts. You could basically just make your own guy. DC Comics in 2003 published 3 miniseries comics.
Really?
Oh, yeah. El Rey Come Home, It's All Bueno, and Limbo of the Lost Luchadors. And there was a Game Boy Advance game and a PlayStation 2 game. I feel like the Mucha Lucha crew really would translate well into old PS2 graphics.
Oh, okay, do you remember the video game Beautiful Joe?
Yeah, I feel like it would just look like that.
You could have made a video game that would have just been a clone of Beautiful Joe and do it in like these characters, and it probably would have been very popular.
It was kind of like when I imagine it was I don't know how well it did. It also never came out. I guess I should have read the rest of my research. The Game Boy game came out, but it was canceled around 2004. There was a Pose revival in 2014 called Mucha Lucha para Siempre.
Okay.
It was proposed to center around Ricochet, Buena Girl, and the Flea again, but this time they'd be teenagers. Ricochet would return home after some time away, but he lost a fight to Guillermo El Toro. And then he realizes that Buena Girl is going to have a fight with him, so he's going to take on the role as coach and try to get some of his own honor back. Nothing happened with it. I guess it was just turned down because there wasn't a lot into it. But, I think Mucha Lucha did, depending on who you ask in the animation industry, did a lot for getting Flash animation into the mainstream, thus allowing a more streamlined animation process to be incorporated into the mass media of the industry. Whether it be good or not, a lot of people say it was a good thing. More traditional. A lot of people say it was a bad thing because you were forced to put more effort into a traditional cell animation. With this one, it was more of it was a lot faster. And that was its biggest sell point is you could save character models, stuff like that. Like, cell animation, all you do is you make the same thing, but you could make like animation cycles in Macromedia Flash, and then you could save them, and then you could use them in other spots rather than and so you could use old animation cycles. It was kind of like an enhanced version of the transformation sequence that you would use over and over again in old animation. That was Flash's big pump. And, almost anyone could use it. I mean, you could make halfway decent animations on it. I mean, you go to Newgrounds, there are still people putting up different animations, but there are still people posting Newgrounds using Flash to this very day.
Yeah. And look, I don't hate Flash. I think it's great. I mean, it is one of those things. Very early Flash, it was rough. It's definitely not up to the standards today,
right.
But they were paving the way. They was making it to the point where, honestly, if we did not have Flash animation, half the shit we probably have today would not exist.
But we also wouldn't have Teen Titans Go, and depending on who you ask,
we wouldn't have
it's
a
one
lot
of the worst. Yeah, it's one of the worst shows to grace. But I personally think that show is pretty goddamn funny. Should it have gone on for 400 episodes? Probably not. But here we are.
Here we are. But it's I mean, say what you will about Flash, it has its place in history. I feel like my opinions on it. Maybe that's what we should do, Andrew. Maybe we should do a opinion bonus episode about Flash animation.
About different animation styles?
Maybe. Or maybe we should talk about, was Flash animation the downfall of stuff or not?
I think it was corporate greed, personally.
Well, of course.
And shipping off most of the animation jobs to South Korea. But that's neither here nor there. But Joel, it's time to move to your new reoccurring segment, reviews that win the championship belt and reviews that got the headlock.
Nice.
Thank you.
So I could not find a 1 out of 10 star review, but it is sitting at a total 5.8 out of 10 on IMDb out of 3,500 ratings.
Really that low? I thought it would be much not the rating, but the amount of people who have rated it.
I thought so too. But honestly, I feel like a lot of people like me, you was probably just turned off by the animation of this movie.
Possibly. Also,
not the movie, the show.
I feel like being on the WB, it's like after after all the like Superman, Batman, and superhero shit is done, or Pokemon, you're gone.
Yeah. You watch great animation, like
Yeah.
passion animation.
You're like, oh, Mucha Lucha's next? Okay.
Hey, watch
I'm
it for
gonna
the
go play
character corrections, at least.
Yeah.
So I did find a 10 out of 10, and the title is not a bad show, pretty good in my childhood when I was a kid. Mucha Lucha is a very good show. With all of you saying I never really cared for it, keep your comments to yourself.
Yeah, Joel.
Love this show. 14 out of 10. My childhood as a kid. That's it.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, not. That's the only 10-star review out of this, and I'll go and tell you, it's a show that I feel like it's got a cult following,
Right.
but
You
not
can watch
enough.
most of season 1 and 2 on Internet Archive, if and you want.
I would if you just absolutely got to watch this show.
There was home media releases, but they're probably next to impossible to find.
I found the full series on Internet Archive.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you're a physical media type of guy, this is probably one of those where it's like just download it from Internet Archive and then slap it on a DVD because there ain't no way you finding.
No.
Unless
But
you live in Latin America, in which you can watch it on HBO Max or Max now.
I guess this must have been big in like Latin communities.
So a funny story about that. Most things that people, well, I mean, like, you know, liberal white people, to put in a basic term, the things that they think that like, oh man, Hispanic people find super offensive, they have been wrong every single time. So like they wanted to dial back Speedy Gonzales and Looney Tunes, and like Hispanic people got upset because they were like, yeah, we love it when he, you know, fucks with Sylvester. Capcom was going to retire Blanca because they were like, okay, we didn't think about the only representative of South America is a fucking monster man. And they were like, no, we love Blanca. Like, keep him. We love Blanca. And I imagine this is like, oh, we can't show Mucha Lucha because it was made by an Australian and a Chinese
Asian
woman.
Oh no.
They're just like, no, that shit is awesome.
Hey,
We are all about honor, tradition, and donuts down here. Don't you take it away from us.
How dare you? Maybe not the donuts. Maybe I don't know, but hey.
Who knows? Who knows? But I think that wraps up Mucha Lucha. Hope you enjoyed it, John.
Yeah.
I think we have
did you
another
feel-
mega request.
How did you
about
feel
it.
about it, John?
How did you feel about it, John?
I know. Let us know.
Yeah. You know me personally, so you'll probably let me know.
Probably just see him. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, buddy. I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. I hope we
Here
said
we
all
go.
the right things. All right. But if you would like to send a mega request that sends you to the top of the list like John did, you can support our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/cartoondd. There you have the $5 tier that gets you pins and stickers mailed to your door. We just got the new design stickers, so
They're pretty
you know,
rad, too.
they're pretty great. Bonus episodes and episodes with extended audio. Also, access to our Discord. Although, we're trying to get it to where if you join the free tier, you just get the Discord anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know what the holdup is. We have a website. We have new shirts available. The Peaked in the 90s Road Shark shirts are up. I bought a sample myself to see what they look like, and I will post that on the socials soon. CartoonDumpsterDive.com. There you can send a regular request if you don't want to have a mega request. we still look at them every day, and we just put them on a list, and we just chop down at it every week. I remember somebody had just sent a Christmas request just as soon as we got done with the Miser's Christmas. So that's going next year, 2025. Something about a cow. It's the first one that we're doing for the Christmas year.
Something about a cow. Who knows? We'll figure it out.
We'll
next
figure
Christmas.
it out. I hope I remember. Send the request again at like November. We have a X and a Blue Sky. Turns out our Blue Sky isn't Cartoon DD.
Oh.
I've been telling everybody.
What, was there already a Cartoon DD on?
No, it's like they... Okay, it is Cartoon DD, but it's also .bsky.social. I don't know. Blue Sky's weird, and I don't think it's going to catch on like X. I think just X is going to eventually get tanked by Elon, and somebody else is just going to change it back to Twitter again.
Yeah, it will just get sold. Yeah.
He's just going to run it to the ground. Much like, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to say that here. We are Cartoon Dumpster Dive on all other social media platforms. As always, we appreciate a 5-star review on the podcasting platform of your choice, so we can do the 3 basics of podcasting: ad revenue, Patreon subscription havers, and donuts. Have a great rest of your week. Audio quality should have went. Integrity, audio quality, and donuts. Have a great rest of your week.
See ya.
This has been a Lug Hole podcast.